Now that our bee can pick random locations, let's make him do something interesting at those locations, like stop and blast us with a giant laser. The first step to make this happen is pretty simple. We'll add a little bit of a delay once we've reached a destination and just wait there. First though, let's actually delete line 57 because it's unused. You can tell it's unused because it's light gray there, just kind of sitting there underlined, letting us know that we don't need it, so we'll delete it with Control X. Now inside of our while loop for our start movement method, let's add in a delay, and we'll have a delay that's randomized between some minimum and maximum amount of time. So to do that, we'll add a yield, return, new, wait 4 seconds, and then we're going to give it a time that's random, so we'll use the Unity engine .random.range between some minimum and maximum idle time. Let's put a min idle time and a underscore max idle time. Let's let that auto complete there and add the semicolon, and then we'll go generate two fields for this, minimum and maximum idle time. So I've got min, and we've generated a max, hit F12 to go to them, and let's add the serialized field attribute. Hold Alt and drag over the private keyword, add the square braces and the serialized field. I'm going to move these up so that they're up by our other serialized fields. We'll cut and paste them and then give them some default values of maybe 1 and 2. So we'll wait between 1 and 2 seconds. That should be enough for our delay to happen. Let's go test it out. Here's our bee. He's moving around and he should stop in just a moment and wait for 1 to 2 seconds. There we go. And then move again and wait again for 1 to 2 seconds. And so on. Looking cool, but I really want to see this guy animating before we do an attack. So let's add in some animations to our code and then hook up the animator controller. Let's go into the bee encounter script. And when we start moving, so right here before our while loop, let's tell our animator that we're moving. To do that, we're going to say underscore bee animator dot set bool, and we'll just set a boolean named move to true. We don't have a bee animator yet, so let's go create one. I'll copy bee animator. I'm going to go up to the top, Control and Home to cut right up to the top, and then we'll add a serialized field, I think right below line 17, below my bee object. So I'm going to duplicate, put it in bee animator by pasting, and change this to animator. It's probably not going to be at the same level as the bee, so I don't want to replace that bee game object. I've got my bee animator now. I'm going to go back down to my code, and we set move to true while we're moving, and then while we're doing this idle, I want to set move back to false. So I'm going to copy this line, paste it right here on line 60, and set move to false. So we'll set move to true, move, keep moving, and then set move to false, and then wait. Okay, let's go back into Unity now and hook that up. The first thing we're going to need to do is assign our bee animator. Let's expand out the bee encounter and the bee root and take a look. So if you see here, I've actually got an animator on this base object and an animator up at the bee root. And I know that the one on the bee root is wrong, but I want to show you how to be able to tell that it's the wrong one too. What we can do is go into this bee controller here, and if we just give this any clip, let's go give it maybe our bee idle. We're actually going to delete this in just a moment, and then go back up to this base bee object, go to the animation window. Instead, I've got this idle bee, and it looks good, and it plays. If I select the bee root, you'll see that that same idle bee does not play, and everything says it's missing. That's because this is at the wrong level in the hierarchy and just needs to be removed. So I'm going to remove that animator component, go back down to this base, and like I said, I don't like this bee animator override controller that we've got, so we're going to delete it and create a new animator. Our bee doesn't need to act the same way as our robot or anything else, so let's delete it and create a new controller. We'll right click and choose create and choose an animator controller. There it is. And I'm gonna name this bee with a capital B so that way I know it's the one that I created. I'll go to this base object underneath my bee and take the bee animator controller, drop it on there. We'll double click it to open it and then take the idle animation to make that our default. Now I want to be able to go from idle to moving, so I'm going to take the move animation and drag that out as well. We're going to need a transition from idle to move, and I want that to be either when we're moving true or when we're not moving false, and nothing more complicated. The up and down animations here don't really work great for just basic movement. They're more for attacks. So instead of using them, I'm just going to add a boolean here and call this move. We'll then add a transition from idle to move and add a condition here. If I scroll down the preview window, I can see my conditions. We'll hit plus and we'll make it to be conditional on movement being true or move being equal to true. We'll add a transition back from move to idle. And this one will, of course, be on move equals false. All right, now that we've got our transitions going, one thing I want to change is this idle to move transition. I want to get rid of the exit time because I want it to be really fast and immediate once I start moving that I see that transition happen or that I see the animation start playing. Let's save now. I want to go make sure that I've assigned my B correctly. I think I talked about it, but I didn't actually assign it. So I've got the B encounter here. Take the B animator, we'll drop that down. We'll save, we'll press play, and then go watch our B animate. So here he is, he's flying down, flying, and then I expect he's gonna go into his idle, yep, and then flying. And then once he reaches his next destination, he'll go back to an idle, and then fly, and then idle again.